Trump warned you guys 7 years ago. Now I'm going to break down the facts, figures, numbers, logic. What I'm trying to help you understand is to understand the logic around this, to stay out of the emotion and stop chasing the dragon. What I'm going to share with you is my opinion. You should always do your own research. I will only ever share with you, number one, my opinion, my research, my logic, and exactly what I'm doing. I'm not holding anything back from you. I'm going to tell you on the back in this video, my top 6, what I'm doing, how I do it. What I'm trying to help you understand is to stop chasing the dragon. What you're doing is you're chasing these tweets and these faceless people on Twitter, throwing out dates and predictions. That's not how wealth is built. It's built off discipline, consistency, using logic and historical patterns to try to understand the future. Not riddles, not drops, not magical formulas. It's facts on what's happening. So this is what's happening. Trump told you 7 years ago you're going to be on an even playing field monetarily before you knew it. Let me explain to you what he said. He said, I'm concerned about currency devaluation. He was sitting in front of China, Japan, some of the biggest leaders in the world. And he said, this is when he was president the first time, he said, we're going to be on an even playing field monetarily before we know it, where trade is going to be fair. So now we landed in 2025, and I'm going to connect the dots for you. This is really important right here. So Bo Hines was the executive director for digital assets just a moment ago. Bo Hines stepped down a week ago from the White House, connected to Trump, stepped down to go help Tether. Tether was not a US-based company. Tether is the #1 stable coin in the world. Write this stuff down. Bo Hines, remember guys, these decisions aren't made like this. So then all of a sudden we get an announcement on the back of the week, this right here, that they're creating a US-based Tether stablecoin. And Bo Hines gets named the CEO. Now remember, I've been teaching you, what do stablecoins use to make them stable? US Treasuries. In the same week, Russia puts out a concern and confirms everything I've been saying, that America is using cryptocurrency to fix the debt problem and stablecoins. Because what do stablecoins use? Treasuries, bonds. The bond market is destroyed. America has 120% debt to income ratio, and most of our debt's held outside the United States by Japan and China. And they could just dump treasuries, dump bonds, treasuries back on us. Trump is playing chess, they're playing checkers. So he's like, oh shit. Okay, let's take it a step further. So Bo Hines steps down, goes to Tether. Now all of a sudden he's the CEO of the new American-based Tether. I'm going to go take you further deep down the rabbit hole. Howard Lutnick, our Commerce Secretary, who's always right next to Trump in most of his speeches, is and was the CEO of Cantor. Go look up Cantor, do your research. So Cantor is a crypto company. Howard Lutnick stepped down and handed it over to his son, Brandon Lutnick. Well, another connection. Guess who is the custodian for the new US-based Tether that Bo Hines just became the CEO of? Cantor. So Bo Hines steps down, goes to Tether, brings it into America, stablecoin, uses treasuries. Cantor becomes the custodian and support for US Tether. Here's what Russia's talking about. Trump family now owns World Liberty Financial with the Witkoff, Steve Witkoff, Zach Witkoff, sorry. Study the Witkoff boys. Then you got Trump, Donald Trump Jr., and Barron Trump, who all run World Liberty Financial, which is a decentralized platform and an even playing field monetarily. He told you 7 years ago he's going to do this. If you study the Witkoff family, so Steve Witkoff and Trump are always together. Zach Witkoff and the Trump boys are always together. Howard Lutnick is our Commerce Secretary for America. Trump writes the rules for America and signs the dotted line. Now we have the Genius Act, the Clarity Act, stablecoin regulation. And what do stablecoins use? Write it down. Treasuries, bonds, short-term treasuries. So now you got Tether, the #1 stablecoin, being brought into America by Bo Hines. Cantor is the custodian for Tether. Trump has USD1 with World Liberty Financial, the fastest growing stablecoin. We got Bo Hines bringing Tether into America, the #1 stablecoin. Trump has the fastest growing stablecoin, USD1. Ripple has RLUSD, which is an American company. Do you see where we're going with this, guys? He's playing chess, not checkers. So now what's going to happen is Bitcoin is going to be part of the strategic reserve. It's going to shrink the balance sheet in half. We're going to create a sovereign wealth fund. We're They're going to start to lower taxes. They're taxing other countries. Remember, before 1913, we tariffed other countries. In 1913, they stopped tariffs and they started taxing us, the American people. In 1913, the Federal Reserve was created. And since your Federal Reserve was created, your dollars collapsed 96 to 97%. And the money you get paid in is someone else's debt. So as you're distracted looking over here at all these distractions, they're getting set up in the new financial system. I've been telling you since 2020 this game. And here's how it affected me personally. I can only tell you how it affected me and what I did. I focused on 4 things. Cash flow. Cash is trash in my opinion. I transmuted cash over the last 5 years into deflationary assets that have fixed supplies. Hence, number 1, XRP holding. Number 2, Bitcoin. They both have fixed supplies. Bitcoin goes up like this and the US dollar goes down like this. So my goal was to beat inflation every single year. So as you lost 19% purchasing power from 2020 to 2024, I grew my XRP by 800% and my Bitcoin by 200%. Just because I moved over to a deflationary asset. But I don't just sit there and watch these markets go up and down. When the markets collapsed in 2022, 2023, 2024, I bought a ton more of these deflationary assets. Then Trump got elected, boom, it goes up, and then I have 2 more components to my ecosystem. I have cash flow, deflationary assets. When they profit, I pull profits and I stuff it into cash value life insurance, and I put money into my premiums every month. Now, why would I do that? Because number 4 is leverage. So as the unsuspecting public leverages themselves with debt that makes the wealthy wealthier, I use leverage on my digital asset side and our insurance side to do what? To buy more cash flow, to buy more assets, to create the flywheel. So I take my cash, I put it into deflationary assets that grow over time. When they grow, I calmly take profits. I stuff it first, max fund policies. I put more money into cash generating dividends to create more cash flow. And then when the markets collapse down, I buy more deflationary assets. And I'll leverage my assets to buy more deflationary assets and cash flow. That's the richest man in Babylon. Don't focus on riddlers or drops or dates that are coming up or price predictions. I just set exit targets on the way up and I exit on the way in. Entry on the way in. Little targets on the way down. And I spend time with my family. And I focus on God, family, and protecting my ecosystem at all costs and stay out of other men's business. I'm too busy working on mine. So you can stay distracted. You can keep focusing on riddlers, faceless riddlers on Twitter that are giving you these things and making emotional decisions, but you're going to get wrecked 100% of the time. I study Ray Dalio, The Changing World Order. I study Cathie Woods, Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger. I study the billionaires and the moves they're making. I touch grass. I spend time at the lake, spend time with my family because I have an ecosystem and I feed the ecosystem. An idiot with a plan is going to do much better than a genius with no plan. Don't chase the markets, bring the markets to you. As we always say, warriors, rise! Pay attention, you're paying for it.